Welcome to another podcast of Marketing Crew, and here we are today with Chef Lulu, who is going to be telling us about her journey of starting a tour of taking people from all over the world to India and making them experience some of the most organic, homegrown cuisines and style of cooking in the world. So, Chef Lulu, why don't we start with tell us a little about yourself and your journey and how you came out to be this person to take us on our journey to India.
Okay, so my name is Lulu, easy. I'm French, Parisian, born and raised, but I've lived 6 years in China, in Shanghai, where I was a restaurant director. So I've been a restaurant director for more than 10 years, and then I decided that I wanted to learn how to cook as well, so I went to culinary school. And during my culinary school, I worked in a two-Michelin star restaurant in the kitchen, but I also worked in Indian restaurant here in Paris. And then once I graduated, I started to be a food tour guide. So all of this gave me the idea of actually going to India, discover the country, and learn more about the food, and decide that I want to bring people there and show them what Indian food really is about and what the country is as well.
And can you tell us about the first dish you ever tried in India, or of Indian food?
Yes, first Indian food I ever had was in China, actually in Shanghai, and my first dish was chicken mughlai. Mughlai, I don't know how you say it. Yeah, very creamy. Like the chicken was so tender, and I remember the spices was a mix of cardamom, cinnamon. It was just really well balanced, really, really good.
And what are your favorite places to visit in India, like when it comes to food?
That's a hard one, but I'd say Mumbai. Mumbai is definitely my favorite place. Um, I don't know. There's something about Mumbai, about the chaos in Mumbai, that is very calming, which is very weird to say, but I feel like once you open up to it and you get into the rhythm, there's just I don't know. It's very inexplicable. And yes, of course, the food scene in Mumbai is just mind blowing. But I have to admit that I also really loved Bangalore. Last time I went, I had a big crush on Bangalore as well.
Say, for example, if you were explaining Indian food to somebody who was about to come on your tour, like what they can experience in terms of because India is a whole lot of experiences, right? And you are going there mainly, the biggest part of the experience you provide is the culinary part. So, what would you say to somebody who is coming on this tour? What can they expect in terms of the culinary aspect?
So India is so vast, so big, and there's so much culture, like you said, so much things that you can learn about India, and so many regions, so many different foods. I'm not even sure how many languages there are, but just lots of language, many different religions, and I feel like food is the one thing that bring people together, and that in India you share a meal. It's like an act of love. It's really hospitality and connection. And so I feel like if you come on a trip with me, that's really what I want people to feel. There's this misconception about Indian food that is how to say, like, people think it's too spicy or yeah, like very spicy, but it's not what Indian food is about. It's really well balanced, and that's something that I've learned here actually working at Daisy Road. You learn how to use the spices. You learn that time is an ingredient, that you need to cook things at low heat for some times, and that's how it works. And I feel like if you come on a trip with me, that's what you'll learn.
When I think, as you said, like Mumbai is the biggest part of your, like one of your favorite places to be when it comes to food, and one of the biggest part of your culinary trip that you take on. What are your like favorite 5 things to do in Mumbai?
My favorite 5 things to do in Mumbai. Okay, that's a fun one. I love to go to Crawford Market. I think last time I went, I stayed for 6 hours. Just like all the colors, the scents, the chaos everywhere. But also the antiques part. I'm crazy about
Chor Bazaar.
Chor Bazaar,
Yeah.
super cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Antiques
the
part.
antique spot.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Charbada. I have a collection of egg cup holder because I love softball egg, and so I found like 3 that I love in Charbada. That's something I love to do. What else? Sunset at Bandra Fort is literally like I could spend every sunset there. Then I would do probably a drink on Air rooftop at the Four Seasons. And after that, dinner at the Bombay Canteen, which is probably my favorite restaurant in the whole world. They have, well, the food is amazing, obviously, but the hospitality level is just at another level, like something you find nowhere else.
That's beautiful to know. Like somebody who spent his life in Mumbai. Um, Even I don't, I think you listed out the 5 best things to do better than me.
Yeah.
Even though I've spent, I think, better of my life there. Apart from Mumbai, what are the other places that you normally, where your culinary tour goes to, and what can they expect from each of these regions?
So Mumbai, I'd say like to finish on this, we arrived there, and it's for me it's a good way to start a tour. It's gonna be like okay, yeah, maybe probably a how to say like something in your face, but at least you know you start big, and I'll be there, and we'll have guides. I have all my friends there, so it's a lot to start with, but it's really cool. And then we're flying to Udaipur, and Udaipur for me is also a big. I gotta say, like a big discovery. It's the city of lake, and the first time you arrive and you see that the Lake Pichola, Pichola, you say, yeah, Lake Pichola, with Jagmendir Palace in the middle, it's just so beautiful, so amazing. It's really like something. I just can't wait to see the face of the people when they arrive there. So Udaipur for me is yeah, you have to go and visit the city palace, maybe do a sunrise tour instead of a sunset. I like to wake up early some days, and then it's a good place to do street food. So go try some kachori, maybe mirchi vada if they dare. And there's this restaurant that is literally on the lake called Ombre. And that's just amazing when you have the light changing on the lake. It's getting dark, and then yeah, the food is amazing also. So we do 2 nights in the city center, and then there's this magical place that I love called Castle Udaipur, and it's 20 minutes away, and it's literally surrounded by farms. So the idea is that we will go and meet the farmers and discuss with them and see whatever vegetables they have, and then we'll cook in the garden all together. Yep.
It's beautiful. The way it's so nice to see the way you romanticize our country, and it's beautiful to see that somebody watches it with these eyes because it's often we are unable to, you know, having been there all our life, and
Yeah.
it's one of those things you just experience when you don't have too much of it. I
That's
guess,
true.
maybe.
That's true.
Or you're not born into it.
Yeah, I guess so. I have
Yeah.
the same with friends, so yeah, I
Yeah,
understand.
yeah, and I love Friends, so I think it's one of those things.
Yeah.
And so after Udaipur, how does the tour progress? Like, which is the next place?
So after Udaipur, so once you've seen Mumbai and then you went to Rajasthan, we go to a very different place. We fly to Kerala. Kerala is God's own country. Probably some of the nicest people in India. We stayed in Fort Kochi, which is like a fisherman village, and very cool, very cute architecture, lots of arty cafe. I'll give some free times to the people because I think you know when you spend a week already with 10 people all the time, you want to have your
Yeah,
your
your own
space as
space.
well. Yeah, you need the space. It's not about getting fed up about hating everyone. And so then after that we take the car and we go to one of my favorite places in India. I have lots of favorite places.
Yeah, I know. You said that a number of
Yes,
times.
I love it. But Little Flowers Farm is really a magical place in Vagamon. And the owners are a couple, Thomas and Reka. And Thomas grew up in the region, so he really knows all the plants, everything that is growing in the farm. So we'll definitely go on a tour with him, and he'll explain what is what. Um, and in Vagamon, it's a region where you have lots of coffee, tea, and spice plantation. So of course we'll visit that. And what do we do? There's a wild waterfall, so a bit of swimming as well in very crystal clear water. And I think it's the end of the trip, so we'll have like a couple of days where I want people to relax and just take it all in and realize what they've lived because I think it's gonna be pretty strong and
Yeah, I can
like,
totally imagine
yeah.
that. And people have this preconception or this stereotype that India number one is not safe. Okay, and second about Indian food, you'll have too much, your stomach will go bad, and it will be like you will be in the toilet for days. Can you please tell me what you think about these two things? Like when people ask you this question, what is the answer you give them?
Ah, good. India is not safe. Let's start with this one. You know what? I think every country is not safe if we start like that. There are places that are not safe. One of my tips when people ask me is please do not start your trip to India by going to Delhi because Delhi is crazy. It's very intense, and yes, there are some places that are not very safe if you go late at night. And I always say that it's the same in Paris. Please don't go at 3 a.m. in some area in the 18th or 19th because something bad is going to happen. Just be smart about it. But apart from that, like if you go to Mumbai, you can literally walk around at 2 a.m. in Bandra and just people are so nice. People are so friendly. I've traveled for 6 months by myself, and every time I'm alone in the train station, for example, there's someone coming to me and asking if I need help or if I need direction. And yes, people do stare. That's a big thing, but they stare because they're curious. So just smile back, and everything will be okay. Like the thing that everyone asks me in the street in India is like, "Oh, we love your tattoo. Like, can you explain your tattoo?" And people are just curious. They don't want to chop my arm and
Uh,
steal the arm. You know, they just want to know why I have tattoos.
uh,
You know. So yeah. Uh, Regarding the food, what would I say? Yes, you can get sick if you go and have street food in some places. We don't have the same stomach. We didn't grow up in the same area, in the same way that we eat. So yeah, you might get sick. But I've picked ways to have street food that are safe. And so, yeah, coming on a trip with me, you won't get sick. Or if you do, don't worry, we have medicine and everything will be fine.
and is this trip only for those who are enthusiastic about the culinary part of it, or is this trip? How would you describe it? Like if somebody is, like somebody like me, for example, I work with a lot of restaurants, I work with a lot of chefs,
Yeah.
but today I will spend an hour listening to AI about AI, then I will spend to listening about food. Doesn't mean I don't love food, but culinary is not something a subject which interests me as much as suppose today AI does.
Okay.
would this trip also, be a nice experience for somebody who is not that culinary driven, or you think it's for people who really are either cooks themselves or love to cook and stuff like that?
I do think you need to have a little interest into Indian food because you're going to have Indian food for 10 days. We're not going to have other type of food. But also it's about learning about a culture, understanding a culture. I want people to come if they're not interested into mass tourism. It's not a trip where you're going to tick a list of monuments to see. Definitely not. It's really a trip where you're coming to meet locals, to cook with them, to laugh with them, and really to have a real connection. That's I want an experience that people are going to remember. And my goal, and I'd be happy if this happened, is if the people at the end of the trip go back home and become Indian ambassadors like I am and can share what they've learned and what they feel, then I won.
What would you say is like the top five dishes a person will get to try on this trip? Like stuff that, which is the highlights of this trip in terms of the culinary aspect, the top five.
We're going to Bombay canteen, so of course they're gonna try egg casual, which is very simple, but for me it's fucking genius. And really, I could eat like 12 of those easily. So I think people are gonna like it for sure. What we are gonna get? What are we gonna get? For sure, Sri Takar Bhojanalai, the Gujarati Thali in Mumbai. I'll then have to try a good dal makhni with lacha paratha, masala dosa. I mean, just talking about it, I get like drooping. And vada pav in Mumbai as well. Yeah.
I think out of those three of them, I am are one of my favorites. Like the classic dal makhani, dosa, and vada pav, of course, because I'm from Mumbai. And you're born.
What's your favorite one?
I would say dosa.
Yeah.
Dosa is like my.
You're good.
I can eat it
So
at
good.
breakfast, lunch, dinner, anytime, any place. And like if I want to go like heavy meal, proper paneer makhani or paneer butter masala with a nice dal makhani or yellow dal. It's yeah. That's,
We should not talk about that. Then I get like,
yeah.
I'm actually thinking about opening a dosa place here. I feel like it's missing. Really good dosa in Paris would be banger.
Oh yeah, it would be like I agree for sure. And it's one of those things like I feel dosa is like crepes. It's a base, and then there is so much you can play with.
Exactly.
Like if you go into the Mumbai street food, they have like 130 types of dosa, and each of them is like okay, because they incorporate every cuisine into it.
Exactly.
And it's a beautiful.
So I'm thinking opening dosa in Paris and then opening a crepe galette in Goa. Then I have best of both worlds.
Best of both worlds, yeah. For you, like I'm sure you've had moments where people, when they see something for the first time and when they experience food or they experience certain thing about India, and they give you this expression. They're like, what is your favorite part of doing this? Like, why do you do this?
Why do I want to bring people there?
Yeah.
But exactly, yeah. For that, I want to see the face of people. I'm very emotive. Like I'm a very sensitive person, so I'm a bit scared that I'm gonna want to cry all the time. But hopefully not. Yeah, I want. Like I get very sad sometimes when I'm online and then I see on internet, Instagram, like the people that are saying like India is not safe. You're gonna get raped. You're gonna get sick. Those fucking Indian there, like all the bad stuff that you read online. I just want to show people like this is wrong. This is not true. You've been hearing that all your life, and it's so not true. Like really, like I've waiting 10 years before going to India because everyone was telling me like, no, it's not safe, you can't go, blah blah blah, and so on. And then I went. The first day I arrived in Mumbai, I felt okay, I'm home. Like everyone is so nice. Like I had someone sending me food in my hostel because I just arrived. It was late. Next day, someone came and showed me another place. I think I haven't. Like everyone, it was inviting me to restaurants when I was explaining about my the idea of what I wanted to do. Everyone was so like open to it, and yeah, it's really I want the guests to experience the hospitality that I have experienced, and I can't wait to see how they react, and I can't wait for them to say like, oh, wow, like yeah, I didn't think I would experience that, you know.
I really appreciate that because, you know, there are certain things about India which is, yeah, there's bad things, but then
Of
there's
course.
bad things with every country. You know, I'm
Mm-hmm.
sure there is a bunch of things in France also which is not exactly welcoming. But because of the media and the way people, you know, things build up, build up, build up, people create a certain perception.
Mm-hmm.
And there is people like you and who come and break that perception for the rest of the world. And as it would, no matter, you know, what I would say, in the end, it's my country, so I'm going to speak.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody will expect me to say, okay, no, it's not that bad, etc., etc. But when somebody like you who comes to our country, experiences it the way you did, and brings it to the world the way you are, it's we really thank you from our heart to know, just keeping everything aside, thank you from the heart to bring this perception to the world. And probably it's these small actions which will snowball
Mm.
into one day changing the way people look at India.
I hope, I really hope, and I'm not trying to sugarcoat coat or romanticize too much. You know, I know that there are some stuff that are wrong and that they need to be fixed. I think India is still growing, like the issues and all those things. But really, like people like to hate too much, you know, and they like to lie, and they like to have I don't know. They like to hate. They like to
Yes.
have this thing that they're gonna hate on, even if it's wrong, even if they've never been there. They just like to hate, and I think it's wrong.
I mean, that's the world today. It's the
It
world
is
we
the
live in.
world today, and it's shit.
It's like we change it one thing at a time. And
Yeah.
on that note, I will end today's podcast. And thank you so much for joining us today. It's been so nice to hear about your own country from somebody else. The way you describe it, it's really been fulfilling.
Thank you. Thank you very much.